I'm Greg, an IP Centrex coordinator with Cox Business Services. I'm here to introduce you to your new IP Centrex handset. This will be a quick 10 to 15 minute training that we will split between two different videos. Cox Business Services and the IP Centrex team want to deliver the best services possible, and we want you to have the best experience possible. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. This is the Cisco 508 phone. We're going to go over the physical characteristics of the phone first. Then in video 2 we'll put a phone call on the phone and show you how to move phone calls throughout the system. Please note that your button layout may vary depending upon what your administrator and your IP Centrex coordinator agreed upon. Also, this phone has a KIM unit or sidecar on it. Please note that not all phones will have this feature. We will cover the KIM unit in another video. But let's start in this upper corner. You're going to see a telephone number. That is the private telephone number of this phone, or what Cox refers to as the DID, or direct inward dial number. Please note that your administrator has the right to turn off DID calling at any time. Underneath that, you'll see the extension of the phone. Underneath that, the intercom button. The intercom is the point-to-point walkie-talkie of the phone system. So say you need to talk to Bob in accounting and he sits at, extension 825. All I have to do is hit intercom, 825 pound. Once you hear that noise, you know that the intercom is initiated and you can have your conversation with Bob. Underneath that, we have a page feature. Please note that the page feature will not be on all phones. But the page is a one-way communication to make an announcement. It's a great way to say, hey, we have a meeting in the conference room, something like that. This phone also includes a line key system. What a line key system is all calls come into line 1. If line 1 is busy, it rolls to line 2. If line 2 is busy, it rolls to line 3, so on and so forth. If all of those lines are busy, or you aren't able to answer that phone call in 4 rings, the call will end up rolling wherever your administrator and your IP Centrex coordinator agreed that it should go. Moving down from there, we have the hold button, talk to the hand. Underneath that, we have the volume rocker. The volume rocker is responsible for your ringtone volume. It's also responsible for your handset volume. They're independent of each other. Now you notice when I make a change, there's a save button that appears right here. If you don't save your volume change on the next phone call, it will resort back to the existing volume it was at before. Moving here, we have the voicemail button. On the back of the pamphlet that was given to you with your phone, there should be a setting that says initial voicemail setup or setting up your voicemail. One of the two. Follow those directions after hitting that button and you should have no problem setting up your voicemail. Moving down from there, we have the Properties button. If you open up the Properties button, you'll see that there are a couple of things that everyone really wants to know about. First is call history. You can highlight your call history and hit select. Then we split that up into 3 separate lists for you. The redial list, which is everything outbound from the phone. The answered calls list, which is everything that rang your phone and you picked it up. And the missed calls list, which is everything that rang your phone and you did not pick it up. Underneath that, we also have ringtone. If you want to change your ringtone, it's very simple. Just highlight ringtone and hit select. Extension 1 is your main line, or your main DID, shall we say. Highlight extension 1, hit change. Scroll down and find the ringtone that suits you best, and then hit select, and that will become your ringtone from that point forward. Alright, moving down from there, we have the speakerphone, and we also have the mute button. When the mute button is red, no one can hear what you're saying. When the mute button is not red, everyone can hear what you're saying. Moving on from there, we're going to go across these options in the middle. Now, your buttons may look a little different than this phone. This has a login button for our call center feature. That will be covered in a future video. Next is our redial button. The redial button is just going to bring up that redial list that we had in our properties. Moving on from there, we have the directory. Each one of these phones has a built-in contact list, just like your cell phone. So you can click on your directory, hit add, type a person's name, scroll down, put in their telephone number, and hit save. Once you save that, they will appear in your list right here. You can just highlight their name and hit dial. We have the call forward feature. Now, please note, this does not call forward your main line at all. It call forwards your private line, or DID, anywhere in the world as long as you know the digits. So say you have a very important meeting off-site, but you still need to be able to receive your phone calls. You can hit call forward, enter your cell phone number, pound, and walk out the door. If anybody calls my private number, or if any call is transferred to my extension, my cell phone will go off and I can take that phone call wherever I'm at. When I come back in the office to turn it off, all I have to do is hit the call forward button again, and away it goes. I'm going to scroll over to the right. We have the Do Not Disturb option. Do Not Disturb does exactly that. It kills every phone line that comes into the phone. Now, that's great when you have a whole bunch of paperwork to do, but I can't tell you how many phone calls I get a month where they're saying, "Hey, I haven't received a phone call in a week and a half." The first thing we're going to have you do is check to see if your Do Not Disturb's on. Because if you notice, the only thing it does is turn that little tab black. So make sure if you turn on Do Not Disturb that you turn it off. The last option we have is LCR. It stands for Last Call Received. It works just like the old star 69 at your house. Someone calls in, you want to just instantly redial them, just hit LCR and it will instantly call the last call received. That's it. That's basically everything we can do on the Cisco 508 without a phone call on the phone. Please check out video 2 where we will put a phone call on the phone and show you how to move phone calls throughout the system.